Hey, Incubator people. Hope you're doing well. I wanted to take a minute to review um, our final pitch and what that's going to potentially look like. It's a little bit up in the air yet, but I just wanted to get your gears going on it as we approach it. And much of what we're doing now is getting us ready for where we are need to be. Um, so this is under 7.1 storytelling, number 4. So that's what I'm sort of looking at right there. We had planned on having that final pitch at CD Smith on May 19th, which is a Tuesday morning that day. We would be skipping school in the morning and then doing the final pitch at CD Smith for big money. $1,500 for first place, $1,000 for second, $500 for third as of right now. Assuming that we are able to go back to school, then we're on. We're good. That's continuing as planned. But I like to be prepared. So assuming that we might not be going back to school, then let's talk a little bit about what that's going to look like virtually. Okay. So this link is going to take you to this document, and this is going to have it broken down for you, everything we need to know for your final pitch. Okay. Please take this seriously. This is your final grade, and it has absolute profound impact on your overall grade. It's heavily weighted. Sort of a make or break sort of a deal. But there's also monies attached to it. So, there's 6 teams and 3 prizes. So 1 out of 2 of you is going to go home with some money. So that's awesome that you guys can be able to use that with your team. So let's talk about what that's going to look like. As of right now, assuming that we are not going to be able to meet in person, we do this virtually, you're going to put together your pitch to the investors, sort of like we did at the pitch in the, or what do you call it, the school board, right? Earlier this winter in front of those judges, but it's going to be all filmed. The beauty of that is you guys can really have the opportunity to polish your editing and video production of that. I'm going to try to get you some advanced tools like a pro copy of WeVideo or some other things that we can use to really help you make some good videos. The video needs to be 10 minutes or less. Don't show up with like a 5-minute video. 10 minutes is probably going to be really close to where you need to be once it's all planned out and everything you need to cover. So you're going to need to put together some slides and then have you and your team walk you through that. And again, remember, like I've been telling you in the past, so if I think about some of our teams, and I'm going to use Stay Green Bags as an example. Maddie and Olivia are much more comfortable in speaking in front of the group than Jamie is. Fine, then lean on those people in your group that are better at communicators than not. I do expect that all team members are to be involved in the process and the production of it, though. But just that the work can be split up between the communicating versus the planning and the building as well, and that still carries equal weight. So everything you need to know for that slides for your video pitch is going to be here, okay? So you're going to do your elevator pitch, okay? Very compelling story, which we were working on your storytelling just this week, so that's important. We'll work you through that. You're going to have your who's your customer segment, so talk about your persona, and then your TAM, SAM, and market share. Those numbers are really important. I think about when we did our last pitch in front of the judges, Roshani and Alondra really nailed it. They had those numbers down. They knew exactly those specifics and that sort of thing. That's what I expect from that, so use that as an example. Who are your competitors and what's your UVP? What makes you different? Why should somebody buy from you versus somebody else? What's your financials? So 3 years, between now and 3 years, what's your financial planning? So really go through all these here. What's your cost of goods? What's your net profit and your margins, your SG&A costs? All those sort of things should be based in there. Okay, so have those numbers that are very clear and specific to understand in a very succinct and dynamic way. Okay. When you think about your MVP, what did you learn for the minimum viable product process, right? So you went out and you tested your product, you learned, you had prototypes, you developed certain things. How many early adopters have you gotten? I realize that many of you are not able to sell some things, although Isaac and Ian, we might have an opportunity with yours to do so. How many early adopters have you got? Those metrics are incredibly important. I want to know how many metrics on social media, how many people signed up, how many are active, willing to buy versus just sort of keep me in the loop. I'm sort of interested. It's kind of fun. I'm just following you because you're my nephew or whatever the case may be, versus this is awesome. Let me know when this is available. Those metrics are important and will be highly impressive to the judges. Okay. What are your key components to the valuation of the investors? So what sort of capital funds are you going to need moving forward, assuming that this business is going to keep moving forward? How is your business organized and structured? And what's your exit strategy? Now, your exit strategy is basically saying in 3 years and 5 years, your business may not be running, and that's fine. Is your exit strategy to get it up and running and then sell it long term? Is it to cash out? Is it to continue moving on and actually turn this into a legitimate business? What's your plan with it moving forward? And then finally, your closure. How are you going to conclude your presentation? Now, down here, there are some links to pitches from other schools and their final pitches. I will also include some video and content from last year's pitches that we did at Urban Fuel Coffee Company, where some of our teams won as well. So I'll include that, so you'll have plenty of examples for you to do. That'll be included in the email that's being sent out with this. And then, so I just wanted to get this in your minds and start thinking about it, that you're going to be creating this 10-minute video. It's got to be incredibly polished and perfect. There's no exception. There's no rule for it. It's got to be spot on. Okay. They will then send that to our judges. They'll review them all. There probably is going to be some sort of a mechanism where they're going to come back and be able to ask you questions as follow-up. And then we'll do a reveal virtual party to let you and the world know who won. So get that in your mind. Nothing I expect you to do right now. It's just for you to start planning so we can think with the end in mind. Everything we're going to be doing between now and the end of the year is leading up to this. So this is incredibly important that you go through and you sort of think about the what and how, what we're ending with, okay? So start thinking about that. Maybe you actually want to create a little sketch note or a document in your team drive between you and your partners to start jotting down ideas, structurally what this is going to look like, what are you going to need for graphics, you need some testimonies in there, that sort of thing. So start penciling that out, and then you'll see that. So that's what this is. Just wanted to bring this to your knowledge. We'll be talking a lot more about it. So thanks. That's it. If you have any questions, you know where to find me.